and 32-point victory. I mean, couldn't have been
It's a beautiful
any better.
thing when you're in Ames and it's midway through the fourth quarter and about 3/4 of the student section is not there anymore. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
I remember because I was there for Texas A&M, Iowa State the previous year. It was the battle of the two worst teams in the Big 12. Iowa State lost, I think, by 2 touchdowns. It was all offense, no defense. And it was, I likened it to the atmosphere of a minor league baseball game. A lot of people in line at the concessions. Middle of a game at Kinnick Stadium, unless it's intermission, and even then not even,
Yeah.
there might be 2 people too deep, if that, at the concession stands. And it was just the middle of the game, and there's a huge line and people buying, T-shirts. And I mean, it was just like no one was paying attention to the game. The stadium's half full by halftime. And then when I saw Iowa come out and I saw the atmosphere they were coming into, it was like I was at 2 different stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was, I think that's really, and it's sad that it wasn't until my senior year, but that was truly when I was able to sit back and see, okay, this is what this rivalry means.
That's a testament to the tradition of Iowa football, the fans that come out of the state of Iowa, the people from Illinois that come back, us a few Minnesotans who made the right choice in going to college.
You guys, there's few, but you can be heard.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's a testament to how the tradition of the program.
And also, we don't have a whole lot of time left, but a new transition in basketball. Obviously, we were there for a lot of the games of the previous regime. And how excited are you guys about the new coaching staff that's about to, hit the hardwood in Iowa City?
Well, I wish I could be here for it. Unfortunately, I'll be graduating on May 15th. But I think they're taking a step in the right direction in a sense where they were just sick of putting up with an unsuccessful program. So in that sense, they did a good job. They needed to get, Coach Licklider out of there and just refresh the program, try and get, revamp it. And that's not a knock on even necessarily Coach Licklider. It just didn't work out for him here. And they needed to revive Iowa basketball. We just got, Coach McCaffrey's first commit in Basabi, and hopefully that works out. But I understand where you're coming with, Mike, with the cautious optimism, and the reason though the Iowa basketball fans have reason to be optimistic now. They have reason to believe, why not this guy? Why not McCaffrey? Why, maybe he can bring us back. I mean, and the sad thing is that it's just a fight to bring us back into relevancy. We were irrelevant in Big Ten basketball, outside of a weird win against Michigan State. We were irrelevant for the entire Licklider era, irrelevant in Big Ten basketball. And, when they lost those 2 first games this year, I did not see it getting any better, and it didn't.
Well, the icing on the cake for me, too, was being in the barn with Mr. Rabin. The 30-plus point loss at Minnesota, and that, to me,
That was the worst loss in the history of the rivalry.
Over 100 games. How many games was played in that rivalry?
Oh, it's
like
nearly
150.
I think it's more like 175, 180. I mean, it's getting close to 200.
I mean, that just being laughed at by Minnesota fans, it was not good.
What's sad when the only comeback you have is keep Tim Brewster.
Yeah.
And then they laugh with you.
And they laugh with
you. But on a positive note, I like McCaffrey's philosophy of the coaches that he's bringing in. Spiru, guy with some experience at Central Florida, bringing in some guys that have that experience. Unlike Licklider brought in some guys that didn't have as much experience. Maybe over time, those guys will gain that experience. But I like that philosophy, and the tempo is great. I think McCaffrey in his first season will be successful, not necessarily by getting 15 wins or 16 wins or whatever that magic number is for some people, but it's will we compete against competitive programs, and will we compete on the road?
Yeah.
Or even against the non-competitive programs.
Yeah, I mean,
like
right.
Texas San Antonio.
I agree, but can we win some of those out-of-conference games that we should win as a traditional Big Ten program? And will we go on the road to like a Minnesota? I know we wanted Indiana, but go to like the Indianas, Northwesterns, the Michigans. Go to these schools and just compete. We don't have to win them all, but maybe win a couple and just compete and look like a program that's going in the right direction, because we haven't looked like that kind of program in some time now.
And I like McCaffrey's vision. And I think it's going to pay off in the long run. Obviously, we've suffered through the 3 worst years in the history of Iowa basketball while enjoying some of the great football success. Yeah. And Jordan, this is your last show here on Incompetent. We got about 2 minutes to go. Anything you want to say? What are your last words on this show?
I also want to make sure we mention Coach Brands
I was gonna say that.
and the wrestling team. 3 in a row, but that's not even that impressive when you look at 23 national championships for Iowa wrestling. They give us something to cheer about in the winter.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. I know you got into wrestling purely because one of the main reasons being you couldn't.
I'd never been to a wrestling meet in my life until I came to Iowa. I haven't missed a home meet the last 2 years.
Same. And, unless it's over winter break. But, yeah, with you, I mean, I know our basketball lack of success probably drove you straight into the stands at Iowa wrestling. And next thing you know, you're chasing a Minnesota wrestler down the street with your Iowa wrestling hat.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
no, but I want to thank you guys. I mean, it's been a blast. Thank you for having me on and Derek for producing back there and letting us kind of come in and revamp Incompetent Sports Talk, and even Charlie Bartlett and Dean. But Charlie Bartlett was a friend of mine when I was a freshman, and he was a senior. He started the show, and sure enough, senior year, I'm a co-host.
Yep, definitely. And I got some good news, too. 120 days from now, we will be in Kinnick Stadium for Iowa versus Eastern Illinois, so it couldn't come soon enough. So for the final time this school year, Mike Rabin, Jordan Lobrena, I'm Alex Salzma. Good night and go Hawks. And it's bubble time on Incompetent Sports Talk. It's February. It's college basketball. So it's bubble watch.